Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to this morning's edition of Just Trying to Get Things Figured Out for YouTube. Now, today we're going to talk a little bit about whether or not my mic's set up correctly. And we are going to be getting into a little bit of tarot demonstrations. So, for a lot of you out there, you're probably an astrological sign, right? I would be willing to make a bet. There's 12 of them. And in many ways, you could say there are 12 types of people and that make up this world. And I myself, just to share with everybody out there, I'm actually a Gemini. And being a Gemini is a very interesting thing. For instance, I possess certain abilities of being able to speak very well, eloquently, and I have the ability to be quick-witted. And in this particular instance, in this lifetime, I have the particular ability to be able to sing. But that might be based on the fact that I sort of cusp Taurus. And there's a lot of well-known singers who have been Tauruses. One, for instance, would be Bing Crosby. But there are many entertainers that people in pop culture would identify as being an actual Gemini. One of those would actually be Kanye West. Yeah. If you weren't aware of that, Kanye West is in fact a Gemini. Another famous Gemini would be the rapper Macklemore. So if you've ever heard of Macklemore, then you've heard a Gemini rap. Another infamous rapper was actually Tupac Shakur. So we've known a lot of famous Geminis, but today we're going to do an actual reading for Gemini. That's what I am. That's what we're going to focus on today. So the first thing I want to do right now is just kind of show the tarot that we're actually going to be working with. Looks pretty dope, right? Yeah. So this is actually David Bowie's posthumous release. This is the tarot deck that we're going to be using today. So it's very beautiful. So allow me to open it. Just kind of get into it. All right. There we go. So clearly you can see that. And it looks like hieroglyphics, pink hieroglyphics, but it seems a little more advanced than that, a little more teched out than that. So let's kind of go through some of the cards. Let's see what we can see. Just some of the images. So for instance, right there's the Six of Wands. You can see that. Maybe I should put it right out front for everybody to see. Six of Wands. Let's see another one. That would be the Sun. And another one, that would be the Ace of Wands. So if we were doing a reading for a Gemini, what I would have just said is we have a brand new engagement. Aces are always indicative of brand new beginnings. We actually have a brand new engagement in doing astrological readings. And today's focus, as I may have mentioned, is Gemini. So my being one, in this particular instance, I was giving myself a reading. And this would actually talk about the brand new beginning of these right here, this astrological reading. So interesting how the universe does in fact work. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these cards. Now, one thing that most people aren't capable of seeing me do nowadays, that I do actually have my own business, HollywoodSignet.com, shameless plug. So I do actually operate and own my own business. And I used to work for shops that were well renowned in the psychic and the occult community. So I actually used to work for a place called the Psychic Eye Bookshops, and they are very well known. And the Psychic Eye Bookshops, a lot of famous people have actually worked there. There's a lot of famous people that actually patronize that place as well. One of which would be Nicolas Cage. Another famous star would be Miley Cyrus, if you weren't familiar. And this is well known, so it's not like I'm giving you guys any trade secrets, but I am telling you that there are some stars. Ellen DeGeneres has actually graced the Psychic Eye with her presence. So, you know, I've been doing this for about 20 years now. I'm actually a vocalist and a rapper, so I'm actually in the entertainment industry as well, and I record on the daily level. I'm actually in my studio right now. So, but I've done this for a series of years, and so I'm actually what's called a celebrity psychic consultant, which means I actually do consultant work for a lot of upper echelon socialites, people in LA, Hollywood, namely. And I have the extreme honor of being able to be a consultant for many people who happen to live in LA, and also what would also happen to be Las Vegas as well. So these are entertainment capitals, and I actually do have the ability to claim that I have in fact had prestigious training working at a place that is very well renowned, especially all throughout Hollywood. But you know, just a little bit of background on myself. But now today I actually operate HollywoodSignet.com, which on the daily level I still contend with my regular clientele. So I do this every single day, every day of the week. I do tarot consultations for other people. And my price range varies. As I moved up into the industry, I was capable of doing my own thing, starting my own business, which changes things. So you actually do make more money when you do it this way. But we were in the middle of a Gemini reading, and this would be a reading for all you Geminis out there. So if you're a Gemini and you were born in the dates of the Gemini, then you, my friend, are who I'm speaking to right now. So let's go ahead and see what your future has in store. 1, you can see that. Now, that would actually be the Ace of Cups. Aces are always indicative of new beginnings. The Ace of Cups in this particular instance is talking about perhaps an emotional situation. We're talking about perhaps even a romance. So, you guys out there, you Geminis out there, you engaging in a little bit of romance, you got somebody new in your life, that definitely would indicate that. Let's see what else we could see. Oh. We also have here the Lovers. So, the Two of Cups is the only other card that indicates this type of love. But the Lovers, this is Major Arcana. So in this case, we're actually talking about deep spiritual matters. So they're talking about a new romance that is just budding, of a spiritual nature, one that perhaps that you've actually stumbled across. You may not have anticipated it. You may not have expected it. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, but it's definitely a new relationship that is developing. And there actually is a form of communication that is taking place. They also bring up the Princess of Pentacles. Now, this would actually be the person. So for you fellas out there, this is probably talking about the person that they're bringing into play. Now, the Princess of Pentacles, this would actually talk about a feminine force of a earthly nature. So there would be business connotations associated with this. Now, Gemini, do we have a new partner that maybe we're teaming up with in order to create on this plane? If in fact you Geminis have recently come into a new partner, a new partnership, maybe even in your own business venture, that this would definitely indicate a relationship that is budding and developing. They also give to us the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles. Now, this would actually talk about ebb and flow, things changing, going back and forth. This would also talk about the exchange of ideas on a business level. So, Geminis, it really would seem like we do have a new relationship developing on a business level. So, and that there would be the exchange of ideas back and forth. How brilliant is that? That's beautiful. So, Gemini, I think we have a new relationship developing. Now, if you Geminis out there haven't paid attention or haven't been, I would say that definitely the time is now to open up your thoughts and your mind to other people. Maybe a lot of the times, Geminis, we can get self-absorbed. We can think solely of ourselves, and we can close ourselves off. Even though we're very interactive with other people, we still have the ability to, even though we're so extroverted, to allow that extroversion to allow us to become secluded and go within ourselves. And we can actually cut off a lot of potential relationships that could grow to a deeper level that may actually benefit us. And in this particular instance, we're talking about business. So we wouldn't want to do that. We would want to open ourselves up to business. We would want to open ourselves up to a brand new relationship where we could develop our skills on a labor level. So, Geminis, are you excited? Are you excited? Now, the other thing they're bringing up is the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. Now, this would talk about holding on to something and not really wanting to let it go. Okay. So, this may actually be a forewarning to where what they're indicating, what the divine source is indicating, is that whatever this relationship is, we would not want to let it go. We would want to hold on to it. We would want to nurture it. We would want to strengthen it. So we definitely want to focus on opening ourselves up and nurturing our friendships right now, and especially in business. So if you have co-workers, people that you work with, if you've got a new boss, anything to that effect, somebody, you got a new manager, you've got a new employee, a new co-worker, anybody that's new on the scene, you definitely want to foster that relationship. That's a relationship that can actually benefit you in the future, and perhaps you could even benefit their life as well. Let's go ahead and see what else we've got for Gemini. Okay, so we've got the Six of Wands, and this talks about a definitive victory. This is a victory. So if we've been focusing on relationships, then what they're indicating now, the divine source, is that we have a relationship that is going to indeed prove victorious. So again, definitely giving us that deeper sense of wanting to foster this relationship, that it's actually going to benefit us. So, all right, Geminis, I know you're brave souls. If you're feeling a little introverted these days, or you're feeling a little cut off, now's the time to actually exercise and demonstrate your skills when it comes to with other people. So let's show some other people what we're made of, Geminis. Let's show them what we can work with. Now, right now, what we're going to do is we're going to get a little bit of advice from a different source. Right now we've got the Vintage Wisdom Oracle deck. This is brilliant. This is beautiful. So this is going to have a Victorian and Edwardian sort of energy to it. Very, very gorgeous imagery. Now, what we want to do right now is just get just a little bit more advice. What else do we need to focus on? So very clearly, for those of us who are Gemini, the divine has told us that there is, in fact, a relationship that we should be cultivating right now, even as we speak. And this is a business relationship. So anybody that we work with, or it could even be school, if you're going to school. So we definitely want to foster these relationships. Pardon me. And I do think that in fostering these relationships, we can very clearly move forward into brand new territory. So let's see what other advice the Vintage Wisdom Oracle deck can actually afford us right now. Let's see what we get. Okay. So they're giving us expression. Expression. Now, usually this is going to be of an artistic nature. So, and definitely communication with another person. So we're going to want to break again out into our normal extroverted selves, and we're going to want to demonstrate what it is that we actually have, the talents that we possess. We want to be able to give our all right now in a work-related situation, and we want to be able to express ourselves to the best of our abilities to those who surround us at work, right? And give a voice and be heard. Let's see what else we can see. Wisdom. Perfect. So in this case, they would definitely be indicating, the divine would definitely be indicating that it would be a wise move on our behalves to go ahead and just take advantage of this moment, this opportunity, this person, that this would be the wisest choice that we could make. So we've definitely narrowed it down, Geminis. If there was a relationship that we hadn't focused on yet in the work environment, climb, we would certainly want to embrace this relationship, coworker, boss. We would want to embrace this relationship, and we would want to foster it, nurture it, and we would want to see it through to manifestation. We would want to express ourselves, and we would want to share our thoughts and feelings with somebody brand new in this work-related context. So it shouldn't be too difficult for you Geminis to go ahead and do that. So that we've narrowed it down. We've got very specific. So on this Monday, August 19th, 2019, this is our Gemini reading. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. 93s.